Thank you all for tuning in for another episode where we are going to unlearn limiting beliefs that are stopping us from becoming our higher selves. So, during this story time, I'm going to share a belief that I had to unlearn in becoming my higher self, which is the fear of rejection. Now, when I was in my 20s, I was working at this call center. The job was easy. Like we traveled and I had a great time. When the company paid for everything, and then when I came back, um they offered me a position, and the position was chill, laid back. I was able to dress up, look real nice and stuff like that. Very, very easy job. But even with this job being easy, I still found myself feeling unsatisfied. I found myself not happy. Even though it was an easy job and I can dress nice, I found myself dreading going to the job. And a lot of that had to do with just me not feeling in alignment at that job. So I took a leap of faith. I quit the job and I pursued entrepreneurship. Now, I started out with selling detox water. I was selling my uh, Vicky's Organic Detox. I was doing really good. I was selling that with the Unistings, and be on the lookout because we are relaunching. But I was doing all of those things, and I started to expand. I was getting clients after clients after clients, like from all over the place. Like it got to the point where my demand was so high that I was shipping out detox water, making it in my kitchen, sterilizing everything, making sure everything is clean because I knew that the way that my product was presented would bring back more customers. So me going through that process also made me realize that I did not have a good relationship with money. You see, at that time, since I had quit my job, I was mixing my business money with my personal money just so that I can get by, pay the bills. So it's like I really didn't get to reap the rewards because I was using that money for my personal use rather than just using that money to reinvest. Not saying that I did that all the time, but sometimes I did have to do that. So with me doing that, what I did was I started another business, which was Hamilton Clothing Collection. Now, Hamilton Clothing Collection, that's my baby. That still is my baby. All of these businesses that I'm saying that I started, I am relaunching because I'm being called to, because I am vibrating at a different frequency that I was vibrating at that time. I did choose those paths in a very low vibrational energy. I was not around the people who were lifting me up, and I was not in the position of unlearning the beliefs. I didn't have the wisdom that I have now about beliefs. So that's what's putting me in the energy to free launch those things. So I started my clothing line, and then I also started doing photography. So it's like I was doing those things, and yes, I was reaping the rewards again. I was selling detox water and giving them clothes at the same time, honey. I was even doing hair. Like I was just in full hustle mode because I knew that I did not want to work. So I'm not gonna lie, at that time, because I lacked the self-love that I had for myself, I did put myself in position to be with someone who was not vibrationally aligned with me. And it brought up a lot of trauma, and it brought up a lot of distractions to where I just was not energetically focused on my businesses. Yes, they was booming. I was selling out of detox water. I was selling out of clothes. I was selling out of pretty much everything. But then it became overwhelming because my demand was so high, but my inventory was not matching my demand. So this goes into pouring back into your business and making those business moves. And then I told myself, hey, you know, how about I just step back and look for a vendor, you know, who's going to give the product and service that I want. Because with me, if you get a product from me, I want you to experience that luxury. I want you to feel like you are a part of the family, because you invested in my vision and my dream. And because you did that, my product has to make you feel that experience. So that is what I thrive for. But at that time, I was not aligning with that energy. I had this going on with the significant other. I'm dealing with all of this trauma. I'm upset all the time. I'm gaining weight. I'm not doing, like, I just was not taking care of myself. So it's like, with me not taking care of myself, that messed up my vibration. Because I was so focused on love and finding somebody to love me the way that I should have been loving myself. Instead of me pulling that energy into myself, I was pulling it to other people, trying to make them love me the way that I feel like I deserve to be loved. So that was a big deal that I had to go through. And when I look back at it, I don't regret a moment of that time, because when I was going through that in that moment, I didn't realize that it was just upbringing trauma that was already deep rooted in me. My attachment issues that was already deep rooted in me. All of that stuff was resurfacing up, but I didn't understand it at the moment. So what I'm saying is, when you are aligned with something, you gotta lock in. Yeah, there are gonna be tests, there are gonna be trials, there are gonna be road bumps, there are gonna be brick walls, but you have to stay the course of your vision. That's the only way. You gotta stay disciplined. You gotta have structure. You have to be systematic. Because there are going to be things in this world, there are going to be traumas that surface. How are you addressing those traumas? There are going to be emotions that surface. How are you going to address those emotions? And so you have to start healing those things about yourself. Because if you don't, your businesses is going to be built on a rocky foundation. Because what happened was I stopped being consistent. I stopped pouring energy into my business. I started losing customers. I stopped responding to people who wanted product from me. Just giving poor customer service because of what I have going on in my personal life that I just want to shut down from the world. And it's like, I look back and I'm like, man, like, I was never taught how to deal with my emotions. I was never taught emotional intelligence. Hell, I was never taught just to love myself correctly. Because as a child, yes, I got criticized so much about my weight, about the way that I look, the way that I should look, what I look like, who I look like. It's like my whole childhood was based on my appearance. And so I did not gain the confidence of just loving me for being me. And like I stated, like, I can't feel no type of way about the environment that I grew up in, because that is what it is. Black women today, Black men today, people today, they get criticized because of the way that they look. They dissect, oh, your hair is not long enough, so it's not beautiful. Oh, you're fat, that means that you're not attractive. Oh, you got this going on, you got that going on. And people are so busy with trying to point the finger and criticize somebody else when they really just reflecting that onto themselves. People so busy to criticize somebody rather than helping that person. Being the person that's going to help them expand. Offering, just some advice. But we so busy bringing each other down instead of lifting each other up as a unit, as a people, as a whole. So I know I did get off topic, But what I'm saying is all of that I just stated had a lot to do with the environment that I was in at that time. So it's like right now we're exposed to so much that can help us heal. We can do so much research on ourselves. We can stop being lazy, sitting around scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, being hypnotized by other people's realities, and really tune into our own reality and start to shift it. See, that's what I did that whole time. When I didn't like that job, I shifted my reality to being an entrepreneur. But then, as I was shifting into that reality, I got hit with distractions, which made me take a detour from that reality and get back to a job. Yes, I had to apply for another job because now I was not being profitable. The what I needed to survive was not aligning with what I needed for my business to keep my business going. So I did already stated in another video about me losing a job and not having a job for a few months and having faith and belief in that everything was gonna be okay. And so it's like I really want you to look back at your life and look at the choices and decisions that you made and think about what was my belief system at that time? Why did I believe that? Let's get to the root of that. Because most of everything that is around us was based on something that we believe. So we have to harness that power of being able to create. Harness that power. 1 day, 7 days, all of those things that you see, hey, I changed my life in 7 days, 30 days. It don't take that long.